It is yet another edition of your Agricultural Biotechnology program where the focus is on the significance of biotechnology to agricultural development in Nigeria. I am Lara Afolayo. We only recently saw the National Committee on Naming, Registration and Release of Crop Materials granting approval for the release and official registration of the BT cotton in Nigeria. Cotton is one of the crops that has undergone field trials in Nigeria. Rice is another crop presently undergoing confined field trials at the Cereals Research Institute in Badegi, Niger State. And today we shall be taking a look at what this variety has to offer Nigeria. The Epidemiological Society of Nigeria has also held its conference in Abuja, the Nigerian capital, where attention was given to biotechnology, and this provided an opportunity for the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology to once again share the many benefits of the technology to agriculture. We shall also be seeing what went down at that conference in relation to biotechnology and agriculture on the program. A professor of plant biotechnology and director, Center for Research Innovation of the Covenant University, Professor Olawale Obembe, will be bow-chatting with me on the program, as well highlighting the benefits of biotechnology for agriculture. Let's now see how Ghana's interest in the BT cotton is being rekindled following its approval by Nigeria, and other stories on what's new. Nigeria's decision to commercialize BT cotton has received hopes for the variety in Ghana. Science-focused civil society groups are confident Nigeria's move will serve as a good role model and push players in the agricultural space to resume work on processes that will make BT cotton available to farmers in Ghana. The Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Ghana says the country would have to take a cue from Nigeria, especially if it wants to create more jobs in Africa and develop the textile industry. It also expects this to help create jobs for farmers and its teeming youths who work about with no jobs. It says Ghana needs to be fast with coming out with its genetically modified varieties, commercialize them, and so it could catch up in Nigeria in applying technology to farming. Scientists anticipate that the BT cotton will allow Nigeria to produce high-quality cotton that will push it to a place of leadership in the continent's textile industry. The National Biosafety Management Agency has commenced the review and validation of some of its guidelines as part of its policies of strengthening the nation's biosafety system. The NBMA says the review includes the risk analysis framework, which details a precondition risk assessment for the release of genetically modified organisms. The agency says the guidelines were in the process of development over the past 2 years and had undergone intensive in-house assessment, critical review by stakeholders, and needed final validation before being released to the general public. The guideline includes risk management plans and strategies to be employed if any potential risk arises from the practice of modern biotechnology. It also aims to strengthen the enforcement system for proper regulation. Other guidelines being reviewed include the NBMA Administrative Manual, the Communication Strategy, National Biosafety Emergency Response, Biosafety Information Manual, Institutional Biosafety Committee Guidelines, Biosafety Laboratory Manual, and NBMA Inspection Guidelines. A team of researchers from Spain, the US, and the UK has genetically modified a strain of rice to produce HIV-neutralizing proteins. The group's paper, published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, describes the technique by which the rice was modified and how it could prevent HIV infections. Once grown, the rice produces seeds that can be processed on site to make a topical cream containing the protein. The cream can then be applied to the skin to allow the protein enter the body. medical scientists have made great strides in treating people infected with HIV, and death rates from infections have plunged, particularly in the developed parts of the world. Researchers who developed this understand that such medications are not generally available in third world countries, and this necessitated the development of the rice strain with the same HIV neutralizing proteins as the oral medication. Rice is a popular staple food in Nigeria. Scientists are now introducing the nitrogen-efficient, water-efficient, and salt-tolerant rice variety, also known as New West rice, to complement the country's efforts at attaining self-sufficiency in rice production. This variety of rice is presently undergoing field trials at the National Cereals Research Institute in Badegi, Niger State, and these trials have shown that the variety indeed has the ability to improve yield. Rice is a popular staple food in Nigeria. It is majorly consumed in most homes, and this puts it in high demand. Annual consumption is estimated to be over 7.9 billion metric tons. Local production stands at about 5.8 million metric tons. The country has over the years relied on imports to bridge its rice demand gap. This is in spite of the vast natural and human resources for rice production. These subsistence farmers in rice-producing areas of northern Nigeria say their challenges include finance, depleted soil covers, pests, diseases, inadequate farm equipment, and poor access to markets, among others.
We do not have enough money to expand our operations. Pests and diseases affect our rice farms. We do not also have the equipment to do proper harvesting of our crops. We face many challenges in planting and harvesting our rice crops. We really wish we could have a more convenient way of planting and harvesting rice.
The Nigerian government's Anchor Borers program is an initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria, which was launched in 2015. It aims at creating linkages between farmers and processors, as well as close the gap between rice production and consumption.
With the population of this country, there's a lot of opportunities. I know we can only pray that everybody should embrace this program, so that in due course we will to feed our people rather than importing food for our people.
The Nigerian government believes this rice-growing intervention efforts is gradually moving the country to self-sufficiency in rice production. This notwithstanding, soil nitrogen deficiency remains a major setback to rice production in Nigeria. The inability of subsistence farmers who farm with nitrogen-deficient soils to buy fertilizers is a problem, and even when they do so, yields are still below expected output. Scientists are now offering an even bigger solution to the country's rice production challenges. It is the nitrogen-use, water-efficient and salt-tolerant rice, also known as the New West rice. This particular variety is currently undergoing field trials at the National Cereals Research Institute in Badegi, Niger State, North Central Nigeria.
The trial was run across 3 countries: Nigeria, in Ghana, and Uganda. About 8 events were evaluated across these 3 countries. And we find out that out of the 8, 3 are promising already carrying the gene for nitrogen use efficiency. This is to show that a poor resource farmer that doesn't have money to purchase fertilizer, these 3 varieties, if released to farmers, under low fertilizer input, a farmer will still get a maximum yield of about 3.5 metric tons per hectare, instead of 1.5 metric tons per hectare they do have at the end of their cropping season.
There are 2 pipelines from the newest rice. One is the NUE rice, the one developed for nitrogen use efficiency solely. So that one has been able to, we've been able to select the lead event that is performing very well. So we are moving into the next stage of the experiment. That next stage is one, to do the regulatory trials, which is to certify it safe as food and as feed, and secondly, safe for the environment. Then the other aspect we are also going to is to backcross it into the popular varieties of rice.
Many farmers have participated in the New West rice farm trials, and they say the result has been highly impressive.
This rice, the one that we are farming in our farm, this one is better than that one. This one, they are putting it small, and is well established, more than the one that we are farming in our place.
We love the new rice variety, and we look forward to planting it.
The Biosafety authorities have performed several checks on these confined field trials and are impressed with the process.
Now they are still under experimental trial. It is when they have confirmed the efficacy and also collected some safety data, and they will now apply for commercial release. When they apply for commercial release, they will now do in-depth analysis. For now, what is they are being experimental for is to confirm the level of efficacy of the modification, and also to confirm whether this can perform if what they have been modified for in the open environment.
80% of rice farms in sub-Saharan Africa depend on rainfall for irrigation, as many of them cannot afford proper irrigation systems. The New West rice needs less water and could be farmed in drought-prone areas.
Our rice varieties today are deficient of most of these genes. The low yielding of our rice are due to these stresses. Now we want to improve the rice. We want to improve their yield from average of 1.5 metric tons per hectare to 4 metric tons per hectare under upland ecology.
The Nigerian government believes its current rice production support efforts will make the country self-sufficient in rice production. But promoters of biotechnology in Nigeria say the New West rice will help Nigeria better actualize its rice self-sufficiency dream.
When the condition is, is under condition of harsh water stress, like there's deficiency in the nutrient, water deficit, as well as salt laden with salinity. So this rice can adapt to such conditions, unlike the rice that is not having the gene that can tolerate that environment. Where there are serious challenges that conventional breeding alone cannot solve, then we have to take recourse to another step.
There are concerns on the use of genetic modification for farming in Nigeria, but scientists maintain that the technology is safe.
But tell you that against GMOs are not, surprisingly, are not against the use of vaccines. But the technology is basically the same. Is it not? Does it not show? Is that not an indication of some form of hypocrisy? So it is just to further confirm that there is nothing wrong with the technology. The recombinant DNA technology is basic, it's pure science, it's safe both in vaccines just as it's safe in food production.
Already, 2 genetically modified cotton varieties have been approved for commercial release in Nigeria. Scientists are hopeful approval for rice will be given, and so biotechnology can contribute its quota to Nigeria's rice self-sufficiency target. Nigerian epidemiologists have re-endorsed the use of genetic modification for agriculture. These scientists say the technology provides farmers with immense opportunities to selectively breed plants for improved productivity. This was one of the issues discussed at the Epidemiological Society of Nigeria's conference in Abuja, the Nigerian capital. The Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, OFAB, was not left out of discussions at that conference.
Epidemiology is known as a branch of medicine which deals with the incidence, distribution, and possible control of diseases and other factors relating to health. Epidemiology has a central place in public health practice, which include population health assessment, health surveillance, health protection, disease and injury prevention. The national president of the society, Professor Agribiotech, discloses that epidemiology is supervised by the Epidemiological Society of Nigeria, EPSIN, and can make the SDGs available through evidence-based approach to implementation.
Epidemiology has a central place in public health practice, which include population health assessment, health surveillance, health protection, disease and injury prevention, and health promotion. Nigerian epidemiologists, recognized under the auspices of EPSIN, have the best competencies to make the SDGs achievable through evidence-based approach to all program implementation. We also have right to international linkages to provide best global services for the attainment of these goals.
The Nigerian government expresses its commitment to improving healthcare in the country.
On an annual basis, we usually take cognizance of pressures of things that maybe have not been included in the budget. And that was why we used our legislative powers really to include the 1% in the budget. So it is now history.
Organizers also show their interest in genetic modification, which is giving farmers the ability to selectively breed plants.
Genetic modification for agriculture, of course, will help transform agriculture. Farmers will be able to transit from subsistence farming to business farming. You know, we're diversifying our economy, and agric is first most on Mr. President's agenda. Population is on the increase, especially here in Nigeria. By 2030, Nigeria is projected to actually be like, 250 million, 300 million. And how can we feed ourselves with all these challenges? How can we feed the teeming population? We have to use appropriate technologies.
With this development, it is hoped that genetically modified crops and food produce will conceivably help reduce hunger and ailments related to poor nutrition in the country.
And next, I get to speak with the Professor of Plant Biotechnology and Director, Center for Research Innovation of the Covenant University, Professor Olawale Obimbe, on the positives of using biotechnology for agriculture. Okay, talking about good seeds, I know we have the hybrids. So what kind of results can the genetically modified seeds give that the hybrid seeds cannot give?
Yes, I might sound a bit technical here. The hybrid seeds, some of them have got some limitations because hybrids are obtained by the crosses of two varieties. That is the classical breeding. But there are limitations to classical breeding that genetic modification can overcome. Genetic modification will just need you to source for a particular gene of interest that will give you an agronomic trait on the field. For example, insect resistance. Then so you can just go out there and use this gene to transform your desired crop. And then the result will be the expression of this single gene for the protein for which is coding for. And so you don't need the compatibility barrier that may be between the crossing of two varieties will not come into play. We've got hybrids, yes, but these hybrids are still limited in their attributes, in their in the traits that they express. So biotech seed will always overcome these challenges that these hybrid seeds have got.
What health benefits, what nutritional health benefits can genetically modified foods offer that the conventional ones we have right now cannot offer?
Well, in general terms, you don't talk about health benefits. When you take two seeds, two food sources, one from conventional agric and the other one from biotech, the majority of the component and nutritional component of the seeds will be the same, except you go for modification of a particular nutrient in a particular seed. That is what will make it to be different from the other one. But if you are interested in high yield, if you are interested in salt tolerance, if you are interested in insect resistance, the quality, the nutritional quality of the two seeds will still be the same. But you will get advantage in other aspects of producing that particular crop. So when you talk about nutritional quality, you go for specific integration of a gene that will improve the nutrition of a particular crop.
Okay, well, I know of the golden rice,
yes,
which is supposed to help, with vitamin A.
Yes.
There's the biofortified sorghum that's
yes,
supposed to have additional nutritional benefits. So,
yes. Yes, that is what I'm telling you, and that is the specific I'm telling you about. That if you have a crop that you want to biofortify, that you want to genetically modify for nutrition, you go for it. The point I was trying to make is that not all GM are actually are necessarily produced in order to change the nutrition or to have better nutrition. There are different attributes or traits that one might be looking for. So what the example that you mentioned, they are specific example for nutritional quality, enhanced nutritional quality. And then they might not taste better, but the nutrition, the enhanced nutrition that they will give more comparative advantage than the conventional.
Okay, I don't know how much research has been done in your center on this particular technology. Could you share the findings with us?
Okay, at the moment, we have not done work on our local variety in Covenant University, but I know that in IIT and some other research centers in Nigeria, some work have been done on improving crop with genetic engineering. What we have done in our own center as of now is the first stage of getting genetic engineered plant. And the first stage is by establishing the in vitro regeneration protocol, which in the end can be coupled to transformation protocol. You should be able to take a particular part of a plant, and then you should be able to culture it in an artificial environment, in an artificial medium, and then expect it to grow, not from seed this time around, but from any somatic cell of the plant, and you expect that somatic cell to grow into a whole plant. That is what is called plant regeneration, regenerating a plant from any part of the plant. And then when you have been able to achieve that, you can now begin to try to introduce your gene at some point of that process, so that the gene can be incorporated into the new host, and then you cannot have a GM crop. So that is what we have been able to achieve thus far.
What role do you think research institutes in Nigeria can do, to help this process?
There is, on the one hand, you can be doing your research on your own and be publishing paper and be doing a whole lot of things. Then the other aspect is about campaign, about sensitizing the populace that what we are doing is not negative. What we are doing is not having any adverse effect, and it won't have. And they can go a step further. The research institute can go a step further by making press releases, by making their findings known to the society through bulletin, through media stations like yours, and then allaying the fears of the people that there is no meat in it, there is nothing there to be hysterical about, that it is safe, there is no danger in this technology and the product. I think that is what they should be doing.
What will be your message to those out there, people criticizing this technology? What will be your message to them?
My message to the critics of biotech is that you need to have your facts right before you go to the society to run down the application and the product that these biotech approaches are given to the society, and the fact must be proven right before you can say that the technology is bad or evil or it has inherent danger in it. And up to now, nobody has come out with that fact that the technology is bad.
Thanks for your emails and the messages sent to our social media accounts. I'll take this mail from Rasaki Salau, who is interested in cultivating beans with high yields, and I guess that means the BT cowpea. Rasaki would like to know about that particular variety. Here is a response to your inquiry, Rasaki, from the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology OFAB Nigeria. And at this point, we call it a day on today's edition of the program. Keep sending us your mails. The email address as shown on your screen is agribiotech1@yahoo.com. Send us tweets at agribiotech13 or comment on our Facebook page, Agribiotech on TVC. I am Lara Afolayan. Enjoy the rest of your evening.